Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you had a good week and I hope you were able to lead with what you needed. Now we talked about this idea of, allowing ourselves to recognize what was the emotion that we had and what was the need that actually led to, right? Well, there's the second part of talking about emotion, and that's really about not necessarily letting your emotion win all the time, right? Recognizing that feelings don't get the final say and that not all feelings are facts. Sometimes they're just red flags and they kind of point us in a direction that we might need to check out. Well, this week, I need to share with you a funny story about a feeling that I absolutely did not need to trust or listen to and where it led me to instead. So it was Tuesday morning. It was 6:11 a.m. and I just woke up. And I was supposed to be at a Toastmasters contest that I should have been in my car driving to because it started at 6:30 a.m. and I was a speaker in one of the competitions. Now, my initial reaction was, oh my gosh. I was mad, like, oh no, I totally overslept. Then I was like, why didn't you wake me up? I tried to blame my husband, right? So all the things that we just talked about last week, like don't build barriers by blaming. And now here I am like, oh no, because I was like resisting the moment that I was in. All right, so now it's 6:12 a.m. and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I text the person that's in charge of the contest and I say, oh my gosh, I just woke up. I'll do my best. Well, then the next text that I wanted to send was, I'm going to cancel. I mean, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get out of my house in any sort of condition that looks appropriate to be at this competition in a suitable amount of time that's going to allow me to even participate. So right away, I'm coming up with excuses like I can't do this. I don't have time. And then I start questioning myself, like, why am I even in Toastmasters? I mean, I'm too busy right now. I have 3 boys, I work. Why am I even doing this? And I just start to spiral for a split second there about all the reasons why I shouldn't even be in this moment and I shouldn't even be in this club. And then I just decide to continue to create some motion so that I can get past my emotion that is wanting to hold me back. So I just keep going through the motions. I'm in the bathroom, I'm like putting my hair up and I'm just, getting some deodorant on and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make the best of this, brush my teeth. And then my husband's like, what do you need? I said, okay, just pack my bag. I just need my computer because I also had to go to work that day. And in my mind, I'm already thinking like, I'm just not going to be prepared enough for my whole day. So I should just cancel this experience right now and be done with it. Because I think my initial need that I had was I wanted to kind of feel relaxed, which I was not feeling. But instead, he packed the bag. I decided to just go for it. So I just texted and I said, okay, I'm on my way. I'm running a little late, but I will be there. And so I am in the car. I show up. I get into the competition and I realized that it hadn't officially started yet. So within 13 minutes, I was able to get myself to a presentable state, show up at the competition, sit down, still not super settled yet, hoping that I would draw the third speaker for my part of the competition. Well, unfortunately, you guessed it, I drew number 1, so I had to be the first speaker. And so here we go. Let's go for it. At this point, what I did though mentally was completely detached from the results. I was like, I am not going to put too much pressure on myself. I made a decision to show up because I had signed up for this. I wanted to follow through with my integrity. And I also know that if I stay too stuck in my head, nothing happens and I get paralyzed. So I knew that I just needed to put myself in motion to create a new emotion. And once I got into a new environment as well, a lot of those doubts and worries and excuses would go away. So I get called up to do my speech And luckily, it was all about humor. And I chose to use the topic of my 3 boys and living life with 3 children right now and trying to work and be involved. And so all of it actually was quite humorous. And it probably worked to my advantage that I came in looking half prepared and ready because let's be honest, this is the season of life I'm in. So I got up there and I delivered my speech. Clearly still probably a little nervous and like razzed up from the morning's events. But ultimately, I just put myself into a position where I can now continue with motion that was going to work for me instead of against me. If I would have stayed home that day and decided to call it and cancel, that was an option. It for sure was. However, I knew though that I could pull it off if I just continued and put momentum in a place that would work for me instead of against me. If I would have gotten too stuck with the worries in my head and all the excuses that I was creating, I absolutely would have called it. However, being able to say, you know what? What's the next best thing I can do to make this happen? And so whenever you're thinking of something for yourself, we've all been there, right? We don't always feel like it in the moment, but when we do it after, we have a really great reward of feeling so much better. Students shared with me this week, I don't feel like doing my paper, but then when I sat down and did it, I felt so accomplished. Or you know what? I didn't feel like going to work that day, but guess what? When I did, I felt so much more helpful and connected to people. And so there's these things that happen to us as positive rewards when we can trust in the process of allowing motion to create a new emotion and making momentum work for us, not against us. So I want to share with you what my reward was. Can you believe it? I won first and it was a shock. I truly detached and just wanted to go up there to continue to show up and see what happens. And it was such a positive reinforcement for not giving up on myself that day, not letting people down, and just really a great way to sit in my own capability. And that's the thing I want to share and encourage with you all. You have such a capability to make these moments work for you instead of against you. So I just really encourage you to ask yourself, what motion can I put in place to create a new motion? And what feeling do I not need to let have the final say? I hope this mindset shift was a gift. I hope you guys have a great week. Make momentum work for you, not against you. See you next time.